to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors meeting September 2nd, 2025. Is there any changes to the agenda? I have none. Meet department heads and elected officials. Cheryl, how's the auditor's office?
We're doing fine. Today we'll be open till 5. If any of the candidates for the city school election would like to withdraw their nomination papers, they need to do that in writing. Today is the deadline for that.
How many were there?
Over 9, maybe 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will have a primary for city of Burlington.
Okay. Meet with department heads and elected officials. We've done that. Changes to the agenda, none. And correspondence. Colin, how's the IT department going?
Good. Just keeping busy like always. Had a pretty good weekend overall, but nothing to report. So
That's good. Sheriff Glendinning.
Good morning. I failed to mention last week, we got Deputy Kramer back from the academy. He finished his 16-week academy, so as of now, he's completed his first week of his field training program, which will last us about 15 to 16 weeks on our end. He was a reserve deputy prior to this, so we expect big things out of him, but we're glad to have him back. Jail this morning was at 72 adults, no juveniles, and we had 2 out of county. 3 on the wait list for the residential facility, 1 waiting on prison, probably another one after court today. So sitting in a pretty good place still there.
That's good. Thank you. Rodney Gleason, maintenance.
Good morning. Everything's going pretty well. Had the boiler inspection last week. Everything went well, so
Right.
we'll button those up here in the next couple of weeks. Get ready for the cooler weather. But other than that, nothing to report.
Thanks, Rodney. Oh, by the way, the boilers is still do the steps, does it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of caps this winter then. Jared Lassiter, regional planning.
Land use, pretty much keeping busy as usual. We have one item on the agenda, but apart from that, I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you. Janelle, how's the treasurer's office?
Good morning. Keeping busy. There was a pretty good load of mail in the PO box this morning, but payments are coming in, so nothing new to report.
Okay, thank you. Manley, how's the recorder's office?
Good morning. Everything is well in the recorder's office. Today is the first day that you can renew ATVs or off-highway vehicles for the 2026. What year is next? Yeah, 2026 year. So they do expire December 31st, so they have a couple months still. Just business as usual.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, how's the attorney's office?
We're just busy.
You're always busy.
We're always busy.
Nothing else to report then?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Angie, how's the safety department?
Good morning. With a long weekend, you always kind of expect things, but it was a good weekend, so I'll just keep it at that. So far, we're keeping busy, but nothing major to report. So
Good. Shannon, how's the emergency management?
It's pretty good. It is National Preparedness Month, so I did want to touch on that. This week, as far as National Preparedness Month goes, we ask individuals to be aware. Next week is make a plan. Week 3 is build a kit. And week 4 is to get involved in your community. So there'll be tips and tricks on my social media pages for the month, but it's National Preparedness Month. So that's the exciting thing happening in my world.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
I don't think I missed anybody.
Ryan.
Oh.
nobody would have complained, Jim.
I know it.
Plenty of stuff going on in the county, but I'll just give a quick focus on more of the DOT project, although it does involve county roads. Everybody knows Mediapolis Road opened last week. 235th, which is what we'll call the school loop, but the paved road just north of the school closed last week at the same time, same day at least. So that creates a little bit of a hardship, certainly particularly for farmers with large equipment getting down towards the bottoms or from that area up towards the Yarmouth area, just kind of cutting across there. So I have been talking with the DOT about some options, more specifically to large equipment, trying to find a way for them to come through one of the two closures. So I don't know if we'll succeed at that. It's going to require some coordination between the DOT and their contractor, kind of on a case-by-case basis, trying to let people through. But so we're in discussions with that. Hopefully something can work out. Just because if you look at it now from the connectivity standpoint, with both those roads closed, other than dirt roads, there is no straight connection across for roughly 10 miles. So we'll see what comes on there. I'm going to call it a rumor at this point. I wasn't willing to say it last week because it wasn't official, and it's still not official as far as I'm concerned, but there is a chance that the contractor can pull it off, that they may close 61, the current 61, and move traffic over to the new lanes on the bypass around Mediapolis today. So if I get official notice of that today before the end of the meeting, I'll butt in at the end of it and let you know and let the media know. So, but that's sooner than they had expected. They had some other issues, but sounds like they're going to try to kick that over. And so I guess I mentioned that just people need to take it easy through there. The full interchange will be used, but there'll only be 2 lanes, just like there is now going north-south. They're not going to use all 4 lanes initially because they've still got to hook in the north end and the south end once they get all that done. Well, at least the south end, I guess. The north end will kind of narrow down the 2 lanes until they're done with the next one to the north. So there is progress going on up there that is good. So we'll see where that all goes, but there's a chance that traffic pattern might be a lot different by the end of today.
That's really gonna confuse those school kids.
Yeah, it'll be different for a lot of people. I'm sure that it will mess with a lot of things. So, but anyway, that'll probably be the big change around that people will notice up in that area if they can pull it off.
Thank you.
Yep.
Chris Lee, how's conservation?
Good. It's kind of a mad scramble this morning, catching up from the busy weekend. But want to remind everybody, the Twisted Cat Catfish Tournament comes to town this weekend. I think they're going to have the north boat ramps closed for a little bit of time while all those guys are coming in and out. It'll be Saturday. Otherwise, had a good, uneventful weekend this weekend, so that's good. Had a lot of people out. Beautiful weather. So I think that's about it. We will have, so Saturday afternoon, we will have some catfish clinic activities kind of ahead of the catfish weigh-in. So it'll be, learn how to cast a pole, and we're gonna try to have a big tank there with some really big fish in it. Soon we can get our hands on some really big fish. Fishing's not been great lately. But so it'll be kind of neat to see, just kind of trying to engage the community around this, because, for those of us that spend a lot of time on the river, it's kind of a big part of our lives, and it's be nice to involve a lot of the community that maybe isn't connected to that kind of thing. So that's the idea there.
Thank you. No, I don't think I missed anybody. Okay, we shall move on. I have no correspondence. Do you?
I have none.
I have none. Okay. Move on to discussion.
Excuse me?
vote.
I wrote you a letter.
What's that?
I wrote you a letter.
I did not get it. Unless it came in shortly before I came in, unless it came in early this
I
morning,
sent it
I
Friday.
didn't. What?
I sent it Friday.
On my email?
Yeah, I sent it to you, Shane,
Hold on just a
and
minute.
the auditor.
I didn't get one.
You sent it Friday.
I did not get one, Dale.
Well, I sent it to the sheriff as well.
I did not receive an email from you.
I did not receive an email Friday. I got your voicemail, but I did not receive an email.
I don't know what to do then. I can read it.
You're welcome. I have no problem if you read it.
I don't have any problem.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, I sent Jim Carey, Chairman of the Board, Des Moines County Supervisors, Tom Broker, Member of the Board of Supervisors, Shane McCampbell, Member of the Board of Supervisors, Kevin Glendenning, Des Moines County Sheriff, Sarah Doding, Des Moines County Auditor, and Joseph Meyer, CEO of Transitions. Gentlemen and Ms. Doty, color me surprised, not to mention disappointed, to learn Des Moines County is represented by public officials openly hostile to an organization trying to perform a good deed. Yet here we are. We have the Board of Supervisors in general, and Tom Broker in particular, with an assist from Sheriff Glendenning, who have tried to torpedo a project to help local homeless young people. I must stress that these are my views and mine alone, but given the circumstances, I thought a timely response to correct the record and public perception was appropriate, necessary, and should be read at the next supervisors meeting as part of board correspondence, hopefully by Mr. Broker. In my eyes, his aggressive pushback August 26th of a benign inquiry about an empty county building was a calculated and perhaps malicious effort to undermine a local nonprofit's effort to do something good. In this letter, I wish to clarify what Transitions does, what it wants to do, explain how the supervisors and the sheriff have complicated those tasks, and try to figure out where this process went off the rails. Transitions DMC, the DMC stands for not for Des Moines County, but Divine Mercy in Christ, a distinction that now seems essential to point out, is a faith-based, non-governmental organization working its best to help those less fortunate than most of us, specifically homeless people. On May 20, Transitions CEO Joseph Meyer and myself attended a regular board meeting to inquire about the availability of the former Public Health Department building at 522 North 3rd Street. Transitions wanted to know if it would be a viable option to remodel the structure and turn it into a shelter for unaccompanied minors. Through its research, talking with local school officials and the state liaison for homeless in this area, and by talking to people who use the transition shelter, it was determined there is a critical need for such a facility in southeast Iowa. The as many as 100 local homeless youth figure Transitions used to promote a town hall that Mr. Broker and Sheriff Glendenning later would find objectionable is, in fact, not distorted, but came from local school districts that educate these people using a much broader and legally binding definition of this population. To wit, the state of Iowa defines a homeless child as one between the ages of 5 and 21 who lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence and includes a child or youth who is living on the street, in a car, tent, or abandoned building, or some other shelter not designed as a permanent home, who is living in a community shelter facility, or who is living with non-nuclear family members or with friends who may or may not have legal guardianship over the child or youth of school age. Back May 20, board members said there was no specific plans for the building, that attention was still focused on the new public health facility. Still, the board acknowledged the request and promised to pass it along to the county attorney for review. Since that time, I have been in regular contact with Mr. Broker and Maintenance Director Rodney Blazner, and once on the street with Supervisor Shane McCampbell about the building's status as it went from the county attorney's office for review to the city's planning office to get the site replatted, back to the county attorney's office, then again to the city for a rezoning request where, to my knowledge, it still remains. Throughout this process, there was no hint of antagonism from the county. In fact, Mr. Broker expressed some enthusiasm for the project at our last face-to-face meeting in July, when he told me I was at the top of his list of people to contact immediately once he got the necessary information from the City of Burlington's Planning Department. I don't believe it's unfair to say this constituted working with the county. It's a phrase I acknowledge using to describe our relationship. I'm sorry if Mr. Broker read too much into that characterization. On August 19, the day of our town hall to outline to the public why a youth shelter is necessary, Mr. Broker read a statement at the regular supervisors meeting accusing Mr. Myers of lying about the county board of supervisors, lying about having the support of the Des Moines County Board of Directors to goose fundraising efforts. He based his statement on a radio broadcast he heard the previous day where Mr. Myers was interviewed to publicize the town hall. In his statement, Mr. Broker also said a transitions representative had never appeared before the board. Those accusations, outlined in a subsequent news story and front page headline in the Hawkeye, were untrue and did harms to Mr. Myers' reputation and that of Transitions DMC, not to mention its overall mission. The truth is, Mr. Myers never said anything about having an endorsement, and he had spoken at a prior board meeting in which I also attended. The Hawkeye published a clarification reflecting those points on August 22. That Mr. Broker jumped to a misinformed and faulty conclusion disappointed me greatly and failed to reflect his usual attention to detail. If Mr. Broker was unduly concerned, a simple courtesy phone call to Mr. Myers would have been appropriate and not unrealistic. Had that been done, this whole unfortunate matter would have been averted. Instead, he recklessly chose to infuse doubt into a worthy project at a public forum without trying to confirm what he thought he heard. The radio broadcast in question opened with the state's legal definition of what constitutes a homeless child. Never during the interview did Mr. Myers, who I should point out serves in his role on a voluntary basis, say anything about fundraising except to answer a question about a recently completed and successful pasta dinner and auction. He did mention the possibility of using the old public health building as a shelter and applied the apparently offensive "working with" phrase, but only to the extent that he was reviewing blueprints he had secured from Mr. Bleasner to see if using the structure was feasible. He did not say he had the county's blessing, and never did he come close to implying there was an endorsement Mr. Broker thought he heard. That didn't stop Mr. Broker from stating at the next day's supervisors meeting, Mr. Myers has never appeared before this board, either in a formal meeting or a work session, which is untrue. The auditor tells me he's never requested to be put on the agenda. That was unnecessary until the status of the building was resolved and worth pursuing. The statement concluded with, I am particularly unhappy that Mr. Myers is fundraising using the false claim of having an endorsement from this board, an endorsement he has never received, a misrepresentation. I just want to get that on the record. A review of the attached radio review, and it's attached to the email, will show what Mr. Broker read into the record was a gross misunderstanding. I can only surmise he dropped midway into the broadcast and drew several false conclusions. Why he stated Mr. Myers had never appeared before the board is a mystery, given our ongoing interest in the unused building. The story about the statement was posted on the Hawkeye's website that afternoon, which is also attached, and was brought up during the town hall's Q&A session in the evening. It created much confusion as neither Mr. Myers nor myself were aware of Mr. Broker's unfounded concerns. Obviously, this undermined the purpose of the meeting and left a sour impression on several people's minds. But to be fair, several others have rallied to our cause, recognizing its worthiness. At neither of the town halls nor on the radio broadcast was there an overt request for contributions. The sessions were designed solely as informational, which the radio interview pointed out. Never was there a direct appeal for funds other than to say the project would cost a lot of money. A phone call to Mr. Broker the next day assuaged my apprehension, as his tone was completely different. In fact, later in the week, Mr. Broker would invite Mr. Myers to make a brief presentation of perhaps 5 minutes at the August 26th supervisors meeting and placed him on the agenda. At that meeting, Mr. Myers added some perspective, hoping news coverage would mitigate the damage that had been done. When finished, Mr. Broker challenged him about the numbers Transitions used in its 2 town halls to describe the homeless problem, calling them distorted. He then began listing a barrage of numbers he collected in what seemed to be a deliberate effort to further discredit Transitions. Why an inquiry about a possible real estate deal turned into an angry inquisition still baffles and quite frankly angers me. Was Mr. Broker's invitation a setup? Moreover, Mr. Broker tried to downplay homelessness by suggesting half of the nation's homeless are in California and New York, rendering the U.S. statistics meaningless for Iowa and Des Moines County. I might add that using national statistics is not misleading. For example, if you would ask me what the nation's GDP is, I'd answer about $30 trillion, and I wouldn't add that it would be 20% smaller if you took away California and New York. During his litany of numbers, I interrupted and asked Mr. Broker what point he was trying to make. Angrily, he again accused Transitions of using inflated numbers to misrepresent the size of the local homeless population. He turned to Sheriff Glendenning for support, as the pair seemed to be working in concert, and the sheriffs too minimized the local homeless problem, conveying a remarkable claim that there are but 5 homeless youth in all of Iowa. Using Mr. Broker's logic, those 5 could not possibly be in Des Moines County because Polk, Scott, Woodbury, Johnson, or Lynn counties have vastly larger populations. The sheriff's tiny number specifically contradicts what school officials have told us and contradicts Transitions' experience with this population. Sheriff Glendenning couched his premise by saying he did not consider couch surfing to qualify as being homeless, ignoring the state's definition. Let me state unambiguously that Transitions very much counts a teenager who couch surfs as homeless and unaccompanied. Does Sheriff Glendenning know what that youth might have done to sleep on that couch? Perform a sexual favor, perhaps? Does he know if that youth knows which couch he is sleeping on tonight or tomorrow night? Does he know whether that youth is fed? Does he know or does he care how that instability affects his or her education? Despite Mr. Broker and Sheriff Glendenning's beliefs, homeless people, be they adults or children, are here and they are anything but anxious to let others know their situation. It makes counting them difficult. They also are a fluid population. They move in and out of the area. Their financial or familiar situations change. Often they're embarrassed about their plight, but they exist. Furthermore, Transitions knows by the people it must turn away that there are more in Des Moines County than it presently can accommodate. The data Transitions shared is shocking, but it is real. It has been neither twisted nor otherwise distorted. Sourcing was provided at each of the slideshows. Moving on, Mr. Carey said August 26th he was unaware of Transitions' original request about the old public health building because he was not at the meeting. I asked whose fault that was, and he demurred. To that, I wonder if he does not review meetings that he misses. I might note that the May 20 minutes, which also are attached, reflect that Mr. Carey, in fact, chaired that meeting. And whether a youth shelter is staffed by 4 people or 400, which worried Mr. Carey, shouldn't be of any concern to the Board of Supervisors. That is a responsibility Transitions has accepted, not the county. Other than Transitions may represent a cause for which he may disagree, I cannot understand what teed off Mr. Broker, other than his misinterpretation of a radio interview. Mr. Myers did not ask the county to address the homeless youth in the county. He did not ask the county for money. There was no danger of property being removed from the tax rolls. So the fuss has me, and still has me flummoxed. Does Mr. Myers need a county sign off to proceed with the shelter, regardless of where it goes? Not to my knowledge. If Mr. Broker didn't want the county building so used, rather than impugning transitions, all he had to do was say no. Instead, the project's premise was met with hostility, using what can only be described as hastily collected figures, causing a public relations problem for the organization. After Mr. Myers and I left the room, Mr. Carey told others in the room, sorry everyone had to listen to that, for something based entirely on one board member's taking a radio broadcast out of context, another's faulty memory, and the sheriff playing backup to Mr. Broker, all of which demonstrated total lack of interest in Transitions project, past, present, or future. Sheriff Glendenning's comments after our departure simply do not square with Transitions' day-to-day experiences. Please refer to the attachments to back up those assertions. I might add that at the end of the meeting, there was discussion about why the public health building was too small to have this population. You kind of ridiculing what we were trying to do. Transitions DMC exists to work with the area's houseless population. In doing so, it deals directly with people who collect census numbers about the houseless. It talks regularly with teachers, school administrators, clergy, and the like, who encounter these people daily. The shelter also is acutely aware of who comes through its doors and who it is unable to help. In short, it is not unfair to suggest Transitions has far more expertise about homelessness in this area than either Mr. Broker or Sheriff Glendenning. Last year, Transitions had 3,500 overnight stays. That's almost 75% occupancy, a remarkable number given that the shelter must juggle its multi-bed rooms to keep the sexes separated. That should speak to the need of the homeless accommodations. Iowa is not immune. Des Moines County is not immune. Burlington is not immune. Due to state regulations, Transitions cannot house unaccompanied minors at its 515 South Main Street shelter in Burlington, as they must be segregated from the general houseless population. But they exist. They really do. Hence the organization's desire to open the youth shelters. Runaways will not be a problem, as the shelter will be used as an at-will center. If youth wish to stay, they can. If they don't, nobody will get in their way other than a nighttime curfew. Transition's goal is for the homeless youth to have a safe, stable roof over their head, a place to eat, a place to study, and a place to try to figure out their lives. Mr. Myers was not asking for justification of the shelter or second-guessing its need. He was on the agenda to ask about repurposing a building. And Transitions has success in this area. By using a step-by-step process, Transitions already finds stable housing and often employment for 80% of its residents who seek assistance. Also last year, Transitions DMC served more meals in its shelter than all the meal programs in Burlington combined. Helping the homeless become not homeless is what Transitions does. When asked about their situation, houseless children almost universally say they believe no one else cares about them. Well, I care, and Transitions cares. I'm at a loss to understand why the Board of Supervisors not only seems not to care, but publicly attacks an organization that does and wants to do something about it. Speaking only for myself, I will do my level best to make this project a reality unless Transitions deems my relationship with this body to have gotten in the way. Why an effort to do a good thing has run into such an obstacle confounds me. But Transitions will persevere as those working with the organization believe they are doing God's work. Perhaps a visit to the shelter would open the supervisors and the sheriff's eyes, if not their hearts, something I would encourage them to do. Submitted with grave disappointment, Dale Allison, with attachment to the May 20 Board of Supervisors meeting, the KCPS interview with Joseph Myers, the Hawkeye article about the August 19 board meeting, the Hawkeye article about the August 26 board meeting, and a video of the last week's supervisors meeting in which Jim Carey said what I said after we left. Thank you.
Correspondence, I wouldn't know how to respond to that anyway. I'm assuming nobody, okay, that's fine, that's correspondence. If you would email that to us, you could probably find our email addresses on the
I
Moines County
took off the
website.
county website.
Well, then you might want to reach out to Collins.
Okay.
I suspect it's a file size thing. It got blocked by the system. Because there's all those attachments.
Okay.
I'd like to talk to you after the meeting.
Sure. I did not have any correspondence. That's what we
I
wanted.
didn't know anything. We'll move on to accounts payable claims. Or no, payroll reimbursement claims first. I got the next up there. We have payroll reimbursement claims in the amount of $496.89 and none non-cash.
Motion to approve.
I've changed my mind.
I don't see one.
Second. Cheryl?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carey.
Yes. Okay. Now we have accounts payable claims. The amount is $385,283.93.
Motion to approve.
Cheryl?
Are you gonna second that?
Got a second, yeah.
Okay. Tom Broker,
Yes, excuse me.
Jim Carey.
Yes. Now we have resolution 2025-42 for final plat of the Rappahannock subdivision. Jared, we'll turn this over to you.
Pretty simple one here. This is a one lot subdivision on Dodgeville Road, just a little bit south of Big Hollow. And the sole intention here is there's an existing single family house on the property, and the intention is to split that off to be sold separately from the surrounding farm ground. It's currently attached to sizable farm acreage there. So it has existing driveway access from Dodgeville Road, and the parcel it's being carved out from there's a strip that'll be left over on the west side that would be used for access, which is also the adjoining farm property under the same ownership. No major comments received other than from secondary roads to use the existing access points, and from the health department that the existing on-site septic system would need to undergo a time of transfer inspection once sold. We did have a couple of minor typos that were on the original plat that was submitted for your review, but those have been corrected on the latest version. So that's pretty much all I have. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve the Rappahannock provide.
Second. Cheryl?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carey.
Yes. I'll stamp this first and then we'll sign these after the
Yep.
meeting, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay. Put these up here. Okay, now we have resolution 2025-43 extending the current 3-month moratorium. Resolution extending the current 3-month moratorium on accepting, approving permit application for commercial wind energy conversion systems through October 31st, 2025. Whereas the Moines County Board of Supervisors require additional time to finalize the amendments to the county ordinance number 62, the regulations for the siting and operating of the wind energy conversion system. And whereas the current 3-month moratorium on accepting, approving permit application for commercial wind energy conversion system expires on September 17, 2025. Whereas the conditions and benefits that promoted the current moratorium still exists, and now therefore be it resolved by the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors that the current 3-month moratorium on the acceptance and approval of the CWECS siting permit shall be extended through October 31st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second. Cheryl.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes. Now we have resolution 2025-44. Approve the participation in Purdue sample settlement.
They're all three pretty lengthy.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking here.
They all pretty much say also the same thing. These are 3 new defendants in the opioid litigation that have reached settlements. Purdue Sackler was going through a bankruptcy, so we had to wait till all of that got resolved. Manufacturers is just a litany of different opioid manufacturers, and Sandoz is another manufacturer that was kind of dealt with separately as well. Basically, this is just approving our participation in those settlement agreements and approving me to sign the documents to sign those participation agreements. The allocations will be very, very similar to all of the other ones that we've had thus far, which are configured on some sort of weird mathematical thing that I don't understand completely. That's why I became a lawyer. Other lawyers with far more experience with numbers did those. But they'll be following the same general allocations. 60% will go to the state, 40% goes to the local governments, to all be divided on, they have a formula that determines the amounts that we get. Otherwise, they're just pretty much the same as the other ones, but we do need to have those approved so I can get the document signed by the end of the month.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-44.
Second. Cheryl.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-45.
Second. Cheryl.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
And I would make a motion to approve resolution 2025-46.
Second. Cheryl.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes. Cheryl. Thanks, Lisa.
I think we're through with our resolutions.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure we still listen here. Okay. Now we have personnel actions. We have one for the IT. And, you have a letter to read with this. First, Board of Supervisors said it is with deep gratitude and respect that I submit my resignations as Information Technology Director for Des Moines County effective September 26, 2025. I want to sincerely thank the board for the opportunity to serve as IT Director for the past 7+ years. It has been an honor to help guide the county's technology initiatives and support the essential services our department and the community depends on. My time with Des Moines County spans more than 19 years, and throughout that journey, the reason I remained so committed was the incredible people I had the privilege to work alongside. The dedication, teamwork, professionalism, the county employees across the department made the experience deeply rewarding. I will always be proud of what we have accomplished together. Please accept my heartfelt appreciation for the trust and support that I have received during my position. I am committed to ensuring a smooth transition and will do everything I can do to assist the process. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve Des Moines County. It has been an honor to be part of an organization and community. Respectfully, Colin. Colin, we're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. You've been good to everybody.
Thank you.
Been great for the county. We really appreciate the IT department. It's been great. Thank you very much.
Like I said in the letter, like, honestly, it's been a journey these last 19 years, but it's been a real pleasure working with, the folks here at the county. I think we got some great folks here. I've really enjoyed working with department heads, and yeah, I'll definitely miss it.
I miss you too.
Motion to accept the resignation with regret.
Second, with regrets also. Cheryl?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. We have one for the county attorney, Sarah Rouse. Is that how you pronounce that, Rouse?
Rouse.
Rouse, okay, thank you. Unpaid leave 4 hours on 8/28/2025.
Motion to approve.
Second, Cheryl?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Okay, we have the minutes for the regular meeting on August 26th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second, Cheryl?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Is there any other business?
I have none.
I have none. Future agenda items?
I'll probably need a wind session next week.
Yeah.
I'll touch base with.
Yeah,
with
I'm
you.
gonna be on vacation next Tuesday, but I think Zach will be available. I'll have to confirm with him.
Okay, I'll call out in a couple days and see where you guys are at.
Yep.
Okay.
Committee reports?
I have none.
I have none. Public input. Give the public 2 minutes. Call in at 319-753-8203 extension 4 or email board@dmcounty.com. I'll give you 2 minutes for that. Meanwhile, anybody in the audience have anything? Yes, Rose.
Rose Fisher, I would like to know if it's possible to have an updated draft for the wind session, work session next week.
Our intention was to, as we go through these work sessions, we have been maintaining a working copy of that, but for the sake of not having multiple different versions of the document out there at the same time and possibly having things mixed up, we were intending to hold off until after we got through the full ordinance And we've started through that process. We have a few more chapters to go. If the board would like to see an updated version, we could certainly accommodate that. But our intention was to have the latest version released at the time after we've had a chance to go through the whole thing. So that's at your discretion how you want to handle that.
I think that'd be the best.
I
What you're doing.
wouldn't have a problem. Maybe put a little mark on each page, third or something like that, so that to make it harder to get them mixed up.
Okay.
Just so that it's obviously.
Are you saying you would like to see an updated version?
Okay.
Okay.
I think that would be helpful.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
And just like I said, if you could just figure out a way so I don't get it mixed up. Good luck with that.
Something on the front page.
Front page.
Or maybe in the header or
I have a question. So your third supervisor hasn't been here for about a month. Is there any kind of explanation or an update?
Health issues.
Okay.
And that's all we can
Does
say.
he remote in? Is he attending
He has
county
a couple times
business?
during the last few weeks.
Okay.
Obviously, I can't go into any more. We can't.
Sure,
go into
I understand
what
that.
they're doing.
Thank you.
Well, the 2 minutes are up. So with, we're out of here.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. We are going to have a work session. Involving, building. Okay, we're on.
We are on.
Okay, we're here for a work session. Board of Supervisors, County Attorney. One public health building. Turn that over to you, Trent.
All right, so we're talking public health building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you look at what we need to do as far as transferring property, it's pretty cut and dry. So when you look at 331, 361, so whenever we're disposing of real property, one, we have to set forth our proposal and a resolution. So what we need to do today is decide what we want to do, how we want to go about it. Then we'll put that in a resolution for next week. Then we shall publish and notice time and place of public hearing on the proposal. So we can have the public hearing on the proposal at an ordinary meeting. And then after the public hearing, the board may make final determination on the proposal by the resolution. So that portion's pretty simple. So the next question is, how do we want to do it? And I think from what I've heard is you guys want to sell it via sealed bid, is that right?
Do you have any recommendations? That would be my guess, but I don't know.
Well, we could set it up and we can call in an auction company and have them auction. We could have somebody come in, do a quick appraisal and say, have a closed meeting to read that and discuss the price and call a realtor and have a realtor sell it with within a range of a price, or we could do a sheriff's auction. We could ask Kevin to stand on the steps and do a sheriff's auction. We could do a sealed bid.
I like the last one.
Set a date. There we go. So
What do you think, Jim?
I like the sealed bid because everybody's got an even chance across the board.
We don't have to wait on the sheriff's availability.
There you go. So that's fine. I mean, I think that's the simplest way to do it. Perfect. If we wanted to, now, do you want to have a number that you guys set? You want to have a closed session to set a number before the bids come in? That'll be
A minimum.
your floor.
Minimum bid on it, yeah.
I mean, the land itself has some value.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the cost of demo costs money, but the fact is it has value to some extent, period. So, it doesn't have to be much of a minimum, but it seems like a minimum would be not a bad thing.
Yeah, so we have a duty to show that any sale, no matter how we do it, is at fair market value. So, so if we're doing something that's not like an open auction, which at law kind of is, that's the Ross version of true market value, right? If we get a quick appraisal, and it might even be that we ask Matt if he can do something, or we ask a realtor that does that. Hey,
what I was gonna say, when they did that, didn't they appraise the county building, some of them?
Oh, there's an appraisal.
Yeah, there's an
He's
appraisal
done that
on it.
all. Matter of fact, I think all nonprofits have an appraisal now.
Yeah.
Maybe even churches, I'm not sure.
So we already have one.
I wouldn't be surprised
within
he's
3 years.
already got some sort of an appraisal.
Okay. So we might want to have, I would suggest that when we put in the resolution, that if we want to have a floor or a minimum bid requirement, that we have a closed session before the bids come in. That way, the three of you can decide on what that is. and then you put it out, then you look. Otherwise, it looks like we're looking at the bids and saying, oh, yep, nope, that's not under the, you see what I'm saying? So we want to get that established ahead of time.
Yeah.
But we can put that in a resolution, have that ready next week. So do you want to have a closed session to set the price, a minimum price?
I want rid of it, so we don't have to take care of it, so we aren't insuring it, and we don't have to wonder about tearing it down or anything, so I'll be happy when it doesn't belong to the county.
So you're not too concerned about a minimum price?
Not particularly, if there's, that might be a good idea, I don't know, I haven't particularly thought about that.
I don't know what kind of value it's got on it. I know if I was gonna buy it, I wouldn't give any more than what the property was myself.
And that's if you're gonna use the building. If you do anything else, and you have to take down that building,
Yep.
that's gonna be the tough place to take it down. But I think that's a board discussion though, I think you're right about that, the board can have a discussion and say, should we have a minimum? Matt could give us what he has on it.
Okay.
And talk about it. But, so yeah, I think that'd be good for board discussion.
Okay.
Have a closed session and we can have a closed session on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got them, well, they appraised it like they appraised
So we want to do that next week, and then the week after that, have the public notice and then all, the resolution and all that?
That works.
We want to move fast with it.
Me, yeah.
Okay.
We've been lingering on this for some time.
Yeah.
So, how are you gonna do that? Are you gonna kick everybody out, have a quick closed session, so it can be done timely?
Probably go in.
Cause it got wind. Well, that's the only reason I bring that up this week. So are you gonna do it before wind?
If we have a closed session, it'd be during the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'd take that very long.
No,
You can give us an idea on legal specifics,
And I'm almost, because we're not gonna publish, it's not gonna be part of the resolution necessarily. I think we can put it in there, and the resolution can say that it'll be subject to a minimum price. And so if you wanted to have the closed session in between, before we start wind, we probably could do that. Have the resolution up front, have the resolution be that it'll be subject to the minimum price. And then we could establish that minimum price in that closed session afterward. I don't know.
I'd like to have the minimum price before the resolution.
Yeah, I agree.
So we do that the following week?
Yeah, let's do that. That'd be better.
We'll establish price in the closed session and the following week have the resolution.
Yeah, because otherwise technically we're asking you to vote on something you don't know exactly what you're voting on.
Exactly.
Do a closed session right off the bat.
Yeah, we could get in early for 15 minutes early for the meeting and have that closed session.
Works for me.
That works for me too.
I like that idea.
Let's do that. And then we've got it. We can put it in. We can bump it up a week.
Okay, perfect. And we won't change the language necessarily, but you guys will know what it is.
Yeah.
It'll be on the record what it is.
Yeah.
And that way you're not voting on something you don't know what you're voting on yet. So, yeah, that makes sense. Perfect.
Is the resolution gonna have like a date for that process? Like
Do you want to give them 30 days to get it put in?
I'll give them some time.
30 days for them to submit the bid, a week for the auditor's office to process everything before we open it, and then a week in between. So
which will be right in primary election time.
What?
Be careful, because there's a primary election in October.
That'd be good, we can do it all at the same time.
Who said we can't multitask?
Hey, Sarah can handle it, I'm sure.
Yeah, whatever you think, if advertise it for bids and then, give them. It isn't like a construction project where you send it out for bids and they've gotta go through the drawings and specifications and see, you know, this is what my materials are gonna cost and this is, so,
The only kind of question I have is, we should probably have an open house. And and I think we've already done that, or.
open house, you mean, for the, and that might be,
For the building.
but we typically, you need somebody so they could line their financing up. They do that in a couple weeks.
I think we do 30 days, we give them 30 days, and within that period, we say, maybe we have a Friday or two, or one, where you're over there and you're, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever works for you, that you're there at 10 on that Friday. Anybody that wants to come through, you can give them a tour of the building.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question, if you wanted to set up like 1 or 2 dates for that, because not knowing the interest, or whether we're just gonna keep it open and to call and individuals go through whenever we can schedule people in to walk through.
I think the open house is better than somebody trying to call, because they know you're gonna be there and trying to call with their schedule. You wouldn't know if you could be there or not.
I mean, we can make whatever happen, whatever y'all think's best, we'll make that happen.
Yeah. Because what's gonna happen, or not necessarily, but what could happen, is we have somebody calling you at that 11th hour, hey, I need to see the building, and you're like, no, I've got tackle up to my knees, I'm going fishing, what are you talking about, my day off? And they're like, I never got to bid, because I never got to see the building. So if we set it, everybody knows, it's in the resolution, it's published, which is what really the intent, when you read the resolution, you read the ordinance, and you look at the case, that's really what they want, is they want the public, everybody to know, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it. And that way everybody gets the same shot.
Should we set up those days and times for that resolution, so everything's all together?
Yeah, and then that'll be published. So,
Let me just work with Trent on setting those up, are you guys okay with that? You guys
Sure.
good with like
Be fine.
a couple, 2 different times?
I think if we're talking about what, 4 week, 30-day cycle here, we ought to have at least minimum of 2 open houses.
Yeah.
And 3 wouldn't hurt to give them other people a chance, for.
Okay. Set up a couple day times and then one kind of after hours in case somebody can't make it during the day.
That's some good thinking right there. I agree with you there, buddy.
I'll work with Trent on 3 different dates and times squared away.
Now, we're gonna have that meeting early next week.
Works for
15
me.
minutes early. and
Whatever works for me,
We'll go
whatever
into
you
closed
guys think.
session 15 minutes
The,
early.
Yeah, that works for me.
You get that, Cheryl?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I guess one other question I do have is there's still quite a few like desks and chairs and stuff. Is that something you guys want to kind of maybe go through and look at and see if you want to keep some of that stuff in there, or whether we just want to
the easy button is to sell that as part of the,
part of it?
yeah, furniture.
maybe
Sell it
talk,
furnished, bonus.
talk to each individual office to see if there's anything there that they might want, you know. And what they don't want, I'd say, we don't have any use for it, we can't store it, no place to store it. What do you think, Tom?
Doesn't matter to me. I don't know what you would get for that stuff if you tried to sell it. And, I don't know whether we've got room to store it, you know, unless somebody has a particular use for it, some department.
Well, so like the nursing home, when that closed down in Danville, and we had a company come in that did do a good job of auctioning off. Like they went through and they organized everything, tagged it into bundles, and auctioned everything off, or had a sale where people could come through and get it. And they had, I don't know, a certain amount of time to come pick it up. And then they cleaned out the place. And their fee was basically
Percentage of the sales?
a percentage of the sales, yeah. And it didn't generate that much income. It did generate a little bit of income, but the benefit was it really got all that stuff cleaned out, right? So we could do that, but that's another month, right?
I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
I don't know about you.
I don't think it will bring in that much. That's
Okay. Sounds like we got a plan then. Appreciate that, Grant.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rodney, for working with him, getting them dates.
We'll get it set up. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're ready for another work session. Moving on. We have a work session with, imagine the possibilities to do to the property. Are you ready for this one, Grant?
Sure, yep.
Good one.
Okay, so I don't know specifically what you guys want to do, but I looked at the documents that were sent the other day. Again, I still haven't, those properties are ours, they're the county's. So it's up to you guys what you want to do with them. There's that lease we have. And I think that's fine. As far as the Can Redemption Center goes, that's not being used in the manner intended, right? So we can separate that out of that lease with 30-day notice if that's what you guys want to do, if that's what we want to do. And then start the process to sell it. We can't sell it while it's let, right? So we'd have to give notice to terminate the lease as per at least that building. And I don't think there's any heartburn to that at all, right? So we could do that and then we could use a similar process for that if you want. We can do an auction, you can try to it's up to you guys how you want to dispose of that or what you want to do with the property from there. You're looking at me.
No, I suppose if you're talking about disposing the can center,
Yes.
I suppose it would have the same rules if it's county owned. And,
Stay on the building.
So, can I? Is that
Sure,
okay for
yeah.
everybody? So the land has, can I show you? Cause I did bring pictures this time.
Cigarette cough.
So
What's that?
Cigarette cough.
No, I don't think so.
So-
I've been smoking 20,
So the
almost
can,
30 years
where
ago.
the Can Redemption Center is, it has,
It's allergies.
it has the building and the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 empty lots that are right by it.
okay.
So when we had the review done, by the abstract company, those are all kind of lumped together into one. They're different parcels, so I was talking to, the assistant county attorney earlier. So you actually probably could sell them separate. So we sold some land in that area recently, that they built houses on, like, so, some nice little small houses. I'm just pointing that out.
Sure.
So, but
Might be a good idea,
yeah, so, but I would still ask and request that we have put a lot of money in in that building, and it actually isn't in bad shape. I don't know, you guys talked about going to look at it, the can barn, we cleaned it up really good after we got the cans out of it. That picked up all the cans. Yeah, we did clean it up. So we still have other things on the property that we have to get rid of, get out of there, that we're gonna sell ourselves, but, I would ask again, that if you are gonna do that, you consider giving it donating some of that money, if not all of it, to us to put into the other properties we still have. I'll back up. Because they all do still need work. There's some that do need updates and work done to them, and we have been taking care of it since the early 70s.
I don't have a problem with it. When these things, if they, did an assessment on them, they've got a property assessment and they've got a building assessment on every assessment sheet. Thank you.
all the money that went into that was donated or raised here locally, and it was donated with the thought that that would provide, disability services for Des Moines County and area residents. So I get that's where that came from. So I am not opposed to, whatever assurances we would have that that's how that money would be spent.
Right, so.
We don't wanna just own property to be at least I don't, just to be sitting there.
So you had talked at the last meeting I was at, that you asked if the foundation still existed, you know, for Hope Haven. It does still exist, and I've talked to them a little bit about this, and you could make that, the profits donated to that foundation with the stipulation that it has to be used for the other properties in Des Moines County.
I wouldn't have any problem with that.
I don't, that's the only thing, and it's not accusatory or anything, but just so we would have, if we were gonna do that, rather than said we'll sell it and give somebody else the money or give it to you so you can sell it, that was purchased with donated or you know, endowed money for that purpose, and I have no desire to use that money to for another purpose. So yeah, if we were some sort of an agreement with the foundation.
Right,
board,
so
I don't
just,
have a problem with that.
I mean, just up the street from there, one of our lots that we sold that was Hope Haven, I think we got $30,000 out of just a lot, and now they have 2 houses built actually on it. They got it worked out to do that. So it would be very helpful to our properties that we have right here in the community, so.
We want to keep the services.
We understood,
And I know
we
that.
want to too.
So there's no problem with that, or is there, Trent?
We would have to do a resolution stating why it's for a good. Just like we did the last one, but we could do that, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's pretty easy to argue that, hey, like when it gets into economic development, it gets a little touchier, right? It's a little bit tougher to say, you know, with economic development. When we're talking, this is pretty raw charity. It is much easier to.
And it's the original purpose of that.
Yes.
Of those funds.
Those funds, yeah.
So yeah, I really assumed you guys were coming here to tell us all you wanted was the lake.
We've talked a little bit about the lake since that last meeting, and that's later.
I apologize, I couldn't resist that.
That's okay, I get it. But no, we want to get this piece taken care of, because we're continuing to take care of that property, mowing the grass, keeping it up.
You're talking about down at the Can Center?
At the Can Center. It's a lot of land and area that we're taking care of, so.
Concentrate on that Can Center, and then we can see how the rest of it goes then.
Well, you can throw those 3 parcels in separate.
Yeah.
And just would trans, don't let
Well,
me
yeah, you're talking that
overstep my
whole,
real estate knowledge.
that whole little area, cause you have that can redemption center, you're talking the empty lots that go with the can redemption center.
But sell them separately.
We can do that,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think that's a good idea that Cheryl mentioned about some people bought per house.
Yeah. Should we then request, a 30-day to you or you to us for just that property, or does it matter?
Yeah, it's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other, so I can write you a letter based on our meeting today, and I'll get that to your guys' attorneys, that way if we're
Yeah.
going through channels. And I think that's a good way to kind of, good way to start, one, and two, depending on how that sale goes, that might get can redemption back in the community. I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, who knows? But,
It's a nice
Yeah.
parking lot too, like the parking lot's not that old, so it's in pretty good shape too.
yeah.
So,
And if somebody wanted to use the can redemption center, there'd be they wanted to be make an offer on them.
we had a person who did look at it when we thought it was ours, and I believe the offer was around $100,000 for that. It was appraised higher, so you know, and
But was that appraisal including those other 2 lots or just the one?
just the one,
Okay.
just the one. Because we didn't realize it was all together.
Interesting.
And they were an actual can redemption center, so now that we have Drop It here, they may not be interested in it. So, I mean, I don't know, they might still.
Does anybody know what it's zoned for? Cause that will impact, I mean, not that that can't be changed.
Right.
But if it's already
Colin, can you
used
bring
as
up the
can redemption,
GIS?
Yeah.
And we can put the zoning.
I honestly don't know, I don't look at zoning in Burlington.
Why not? What's an address on one of those?
We got
Have you got an address on one of those, Cheryl?
What?
The address on one of those?
Oh, it's on
It's, it doesn't have. an address.
1804 Douglas Avenue.
1804.
Yeah.
It's like doing a live demo, Colin, it's always risky.
1805 Douglas Avenue.
Hit it,
That's
it'll
probably,
close.
yeah,
It'll get you close.
Yeah, that's true.
All you gotta do is find it, I don't know if Austin's got the city zoning,
well, just to the south of it, or not south, but just underneath it.
well, the whole area will be zoned the same thing.
Oh, you'll preserve.
One second. I'm gonna grab my mouse. It's a little hard to zoom in on all this stuff on the touchpad.
Imagine if you will call and be trying to do that at home on a laptop. With
Well-
all my IT skills on display.
The addresses are all kind of strange on there too, they're not like,
There it is, there it was.
Which one do you, what project do you wanna look at, sorry?
it's this. Yeah, it's 1804.
That's Racine.
You come over here, Rodney, you won't be able to.
Just in there, Douglas, might pull that up. Okay, sorry, yeah, here. Right there, yeah.
That it?
Yeah.
Property.
Check under your layers, Colin,
It should
under the
say
layers
on
on this
there.
GIS website, it should see if there's zoning layers
So
It should
next to
say
your
on there
search, it's underneath where the
under your picture, up in the
yeah.
upper right corner.
black box.
Here, under this, there's layers. There's layers. And go to, yeah, you're under those are Des Moines County, so scroll down and see it, the cities, Burlington, airport zoning.
Land use, Burlington land use.
Yeah, there you go.
Burlington zoning.
Do that. Except for it's got color coded, I don't know if it'll be on there for. That's all, I'm assuming yellow's residential, judging by, okay, so it does have something separate.
P1. Any idea what that is?
I don't, but it's not residential, so that's a good thing for the building to be able to be used a different way.
That looks like those properties are blue, too. Empty lot.
So that would be.
Yeah, you can X out of that box.
Oh, yeah.
So Wilmington, Iowa, P1 zoning refers to planned unit development.
P1.
Oh, okay, that means.
Oh, those are when they call
They-
PUD, PU.
PUD.
Well, no,
Yeah,
a PUD is the way they pay their taxes, but planned one, so P1 means that it's planned, so it's a mix, but it's done by agreement. So it's similar to a PUD, like, but this is for zoning, so it's based on the agreement.
So I could use it for a cam center or something if I wanted to, obviously.
So it's a, yeah,
Or parking lot.
yeah, it's already agreed to be used for Can Redemption Center, so.
Okay.
So
And I'm sure
that's
those
the
are
good
three
news.
properties.
Now, the bad news is it's not just like industrial, right? So they can't come in and say, hey, I know that you're using it for cans, but I wanna use it to make widgets or what's-its. So, and the building's perfect, they can't necessarily do that.
Well, but they could go ask for it to be rezoned.
Yeah, they could
Like,
ask,
they
hey,
could-
it's already P1 to me, but they would have to petition for that, yeah.
Okay.
So it can still be used for Can Redemption Center.
And it probably could be used for any sort of a small,
Small
business
scale.
use.
Like an auto shop, something like
Or
that.
something. I would think so. I don't know, that'd be the Burlington City Council's call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which anybody interested should look into that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I would think that those wouldn't be any problem to sell, I wouldn't think.
No.
Like you said, there's 3 lots, might, if somebody wanted to build a house or a.
Yeah.
Was a lot of automobiles there at one time, wasn't
What's that?
a lot of cars there.
Yeah, it is.
It's like 15, 16, 17, I don't know.
Cars and containers and floating around.
Whenever the family and I took cans out there, I mean, there was never a time or day that that place wasn't full.
So what we're just, deciding now how to get rid of it? Are we?
So yeah, the next step is I'll get a letter out to them this week, letting them know, hey, our intent is to end the lease as per this parcel, so keep the rest of the lease in place, end the lease as per that, so we can get ready for sale. And we can go through a similar process, we can go through a different process. That's up to you guys, how you wanna sell it at that point.
What process we're going through on the other buildings, fine with me.
What?
And this might, with this, so this is a lot more similar to our shop that we sold up in Pleasant Grove.
Auction?
And that, we did an online auction with that, and I have to tell you, for us, it went far better than we thought it would.
Yeah.
I would think that the residential lots too would be, there'll be more interest in those
Oh, yeah,
than.
yeah.
I would consider going that route. This other one's just a different animal.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion, not being a real estate guy, but
So there'd be 3 lots plus, and then so there'd be four lots in the same then.
if you get somebody that wants all of them, they're gonna have to, be aggressive.
And what's that building on that lot next to the parking lot there?
Looks like they have some connexes.
That's right there, that, what's that building?
That, I think that was that's not there.
Huh?
I don't think that's there. I'll have to
Storage
drive
container.
over there and look, because I think it was just like a container building, a
Oh,
container
okay,
thing.
it's not
But I have
that.
to drive over there myself to look, because I'm not sure.
And do we need asking Trent if we would have an agreement with the Hope Haven Foundation Board, that they were gonna use that to provide those services here. They would get the proceeds. I'm sure that would be a separate agreement.
When you donated it, you would stipulate that in.
Well, I agree.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm sure the board has to approve something to do that,
Right, yeah, we'll have to do a resolution.
rather than just sell it and write you a check.
Oh, gotcha.
So you might wanna, you probably don't have any thoughts right now, but you might wanna check that out, what that will entail.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, that's a ways down the road, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's something we
Yeah.
can do,
Sure.
and if we wanted to have a limited donation there, I mean, one, it could be aspirational, say, hey, we're giving this to you with the intention that it be used here in Des Moines County. The problem is, then that's just aspirational.
You're gonna wear me out. You might wanna have some
Yeah,
options for us when you come
yeah, I'll
back.
have options, I'll put options together. Cause like with real land and stuff, it's easier to limit, right, and there's something to get back. If we're giving them cash, essentially,
Yeah,
it's fungible, right?
yep, and that's the assurance you would want. I'm sure the
Yeah.
foundation board would be happy to, provide that in whatever manner you would deem necessary.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
That was good?
good with you?
Yep, yep.
Okay, well, we'll see where we're going. Trent gets his legwork done.
All right, thank you.
That'll work?
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Tell Bruce hi, will you?
I certainly will. I
Yep.
asked, did you see his son just got on the fire department?
Yes, I
Yeah.
seen that. Max just got on the fire department. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
It'll be a good career for him.
yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. We're out of here. Cheryl,
Done,
pull through.
you're on.
I'll be gone next Tuesday also, so we're gonna start going solar